What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to Tag Team Racing, and today I've got another video for you. In this video, we're going to be talking about the Mustang, what was done to it. We're going to have we'll show the dyno sheet, we'll show the dyno pole. We'll do a little bit of the underhood here in a second. So we got the Mustang pulled into the shop. It is pulled into the shop, still on the drag pack from last night, which we did some runs, and those runs will actually be in that video as well, or this video as well. So we're going to pop the hood here in a second, take a look at what it looks like underneath the hood, talk about, what I like, what I don't like about it so far, and we'll talk about the runs as well and show you guys that in this video. So hope you guys enjoy this video. We're going to keep the content rolling. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button down below, and make sure you follow us on Instagram too, Tag Team Racing, and hope you guys enjoy this video. Over here, pop the hood. Show you guys what it looks like underneath nowadays. Alright. So here we have the PMAS fender well intake. It actually goes all the way down there in the fender well. This helps with having all that cold air sucked in through the grill and then the bottom grill there as well. Supposed to be the best intake on the market, from what I've done my research on and seen from other cars. Then we paired it with the 87mm throttle body. I know most people say they don't do anything. I don't think it's really doing too much for the car, but I just happened to get it for really cheap from one of my buddies, so I decided to smack that on there. We had to do a little bit of fabrication on this actual hose, or this connecting piece right here. I had to cut it because this really, as you can see, it barely fits underneath this hood. So we had to do a little bit of some fabrication there on that, but we did get it to fit. It ran great when we put the basic tune on it, and then so I love how this setup looks. It drives great, it sounds great with the throttle body and the cold air intake. You can certainly hear that when you're driving, racing, whatnot. So I do like this setup so far. Let me close the hood here. After doing some racing, though, last night, and I'll put those clips in here like I was talking about, honestly, so it made 473 to the wheel, horsepower-wise, and then 413 torque. We'll put that dyno clip here in a second. But, after doing some racing last night, you'll see the races, I feel like we need to get this car a little bit more dialed in. I feel like it should have been some of these cars that we raced. So we raced some full bolt-on E85 10 speed. So obviously they have more mods, make more horsepower than me. But, I lost by more cars than I would have originally assumed I was going to lose by. So we're trying to dig into that right now. Going to throw it on another dyno, do some testing. So we'll see what happens there. But a little confused on where this car is at right now. But like I said, it made 473 to the wheel. 413 torque, which is pretty good just for a cold air intake throttle body E85. But I am enjoying, how it drives, the drivability of it. The power is definitely a lot better than just having it stock. So, but I want to figure out, what's another power adder. So the guys that I raced, obviously you see in the video, they had headers, they had the intakes, either whether that's a 18 manifold or a Boss 302 ported intake. I'm trying to figure out the next steps of maybe what I want to add to be more competitive, or what else I want to do to the car. I've thrown around the idea of nitrous, maybe doing a 100 shot, 150 shot, and playing around with that a little bit, or maybe doing, if I had the funds for it, of course, I want to do an ESS, either G2 or G3 kit on the car, just on 93 for a little bit. So really tossing around what I want to do with this car. I'll post up the dyno clip and then the racing videos next for you guys, so you see what I'm talking about. Leave it down in the comments if you guys have any ideas, or what's done to your car. Maybe it's a bolt-on E85 car. What's done to yours? Maybe what's their 60th or 130 times. Just kind of curious what you guys are doing out there, and trying to figure out some next steps for this car and what we're going to do. Also trying to figure out, gearing, what gear is for the right mile an hour, and where should I be RPM wise. So I'm trying to figure that all out, and then we'll go from there. So post up the dyno clip next. show the dyno sheet as well, and then we'll get into some racing, and then we'll have some other stuff here at the end of the video for you guys. So all right, so you guys kind of see what I'm talking about with the car. So we did put it on. The first one was my tuner's dyno. So when it was initially dynoed, it made 473 the wheel, 413 torque. And then another performance shop here in Indy, Redline Performance, reached out to me, and I wanted to do some testing with my car. So we put the car on the dyno, ended up making around 440 wheel horsepower, and then around 417 torque. So as you can see, there's a big difference. Obviously, a lot of that can be behind how they're measuring it, whether it's in STD or SAE. So that definitely plays a factor in it. And then all dynos are certainly different from one another. So I really don't know where the car's at. Maybe it's between those two numbers. That would make maybe more sense to me. But in the races you guys saw, obviously, like I said, those guys are making more horsepower on me. Their tunes are probably a little bit more aggressive, as this is still my daily driver. So, I don't want a crazy tune on it. I would like it to make it faster. We'll talk about that a little bit at the end of the video. But, the Boss 302 intake manifold on the gray one, both of those cars are gutted, which we're actually going to do that in this video and gut the car before we go down to 6-speed Pat and our collab video, or our collab event, Indiana times Tennessee. So that'll be next weekend. So we're actually going to gut the car as well. I know it doesn't make a huge difference, but there's certainly some aspects there, making a car versus car, as them having a little bit lighter. And I know the white one has a pretty lightweight drag pack setup, so whereas I just have my rears and then the regular fronts here. So just trying to figure everything out with the car. I do like how it drives, like I said. I just want it to make it a little bit more competitive. So the next part of this is going to be us doing some weight comparison. We're going to weigh the rear drag pack versus the actual wheels that we run on the car, the Rovos.
see what the weight comparison there is, see how much weight we're dropping. We're going to weigh the fronts. So I'll take one of the fronts off and we're going to weigh it. We actually have another set. Fortunately, I hit a pothole that was basically a crater. So I either dented the wheel or the tires. I don't know. So we're going to see if it's worth putting some money into that and maybe getting it fixed if there's a weight comparison. Those are the other fronts that I have are 8.5s, where these fronts are 10s. So obviously those are going to be a little bit narrower, not as big of a tire. So it should be lighter, but I do want to see how much lighter it is going to be. So we're going to do that as well. And like I said, we're going to take the front seat, rear seat, some stuff out of the trunk. We'll weigh all that stuff so you guys see what the numbers are associated with that, so we can get ready for that event that's coming up. So stay tuned. We're going to weigh some wheels next.
These stock wheels that I usually run on the back, just like when I'm not racing, on here to do a weight comparison to see if the rear drag pack that I'm running, the SEs with the Dyno 555 R2s, are lighter than these Rovos that are 10.5s, and they are Dyno 555 G2s. So did a little weight measuring here, and it weighs 65 pounds for these Rovos. So I'm going to take the drag pack off, one of them off, and then put it on here and see what the weight difference is. All right, now you guys can see we got the SVs off the car. Put it on the scale here. We actually came out to 55 pounds. So we're saving about 10 pounds per wheel and tire when we're switching this out, and that's why we do. I mean, it's not a ton, but you know, 20 pounds between the two wheels and tires on the rear certainly help. I'd like to get a set of front runners for the front too, to drop a little bit of weight in the car as well. So we're working on doing that, but just wanted to show you guys the difference and why we switch it out. So saving about 20 pounds there, obviously getting way more traction with these on the rear. So always looking for recommendations on how to drop weight too. So drop it down in the comments if you guys have any recommendations for that. Alrighty guys, you can see we got the front passenger off. I do want to show you guys here, every time we do this, we're doing it manually. I do need to invest into an impact. So we got the jack here. Got the wonderful T with the lug nut tool. So we're going to come over here and take a look at the weight. He's actually weighed a lot more than I expected. So these are Rovos 10s. These are 275s. 275, 35, 19s. They ended up weighing about 58 pounds. So we're going to come over here to the stack, pull off one of the smaller 8.5s, see what the weight comparison is there, and see if we should be running those on the fronts. Alright, so we got the 8.5s on here. These are 255 40 19s. I knew there would be a weight difference, and fortunately the potholes here suck. You guys can see I got the bent wheel on this one as well. So the weight for these, as you guys can see right here, is 53 pounds. So we're saving, if we were to run these instead of, you know, the 10s, we would be saving about 5 pounds a piece, so about 10 pounds. But like I said multiple times, I really do just want to get some front runners that I can throw on when I go racing. Preferably not driving them all the time, but just have some that I can throw on and have a little bit of weight reduction. But yeah, no, I knew there would be a difference, but I thought it maybe for some reason might be a little bit more significant. But next we are going to take out the passenger seat and see how much that weighs. Alright guys, I'm going to give you a little demo on how to remove the front seats. You guys might already know this, but basically you'll come down here, there'll be this plastic cap right here. You'll pop that right off, and then there'll be 4 of these bolts on all 4 sides of the chair. And then you'll have to go underneath the seat. You have to unplug it, obviously for electronical components that move the seat back and forth. So there's just one plug, you have to unplug that. And then the seat will come right out. So we're going to do that real quick. We're going to put it on the scale, see what it weighs, see how much
weight difference will be. My guess, maybe 30 pounds, maybe. I don't know, because it's a base model seats. It doesn't have the heating and cooling, so we'll try to figure out and see how much it weighs. But
all right, guys, so we were able to get the front seat out. Like I said, it was just the 4 bolts and just disconnecting right there, just connecting that. We did come over here and put it on the scale. Couldn't really record it because I had to hold it, weigh myself and weigh this. Realized I need to maybe hit the gym a little bit more, but couldn't get a super accurate reading on that. But the seat prop was somewhere between 30 and 40 pounds. It's just kind of what I was thinking. I still got the electronics, obviously, to move the seat up and down. Not the heated and cooled seats; those probably weigh a little bit more. But we'll get whatever we can. So we'll take the back seats out next, and then we should be good to go. All right, so we were able to remove the bottom half of the back seat. This is super easy. There's actually just 2 release tabs right underneath here at the front that you just push in, and that actually pulls out. These only weigh between 9 to 10 pounds, so not a super huge weight reduction there. Not surprised at all that those didn't weigh very much. And then we're going to take off the tops and see where we're at with there. And then we'll see if there's anything else we can pull out of this car. All right, guys, as you can see, we got the rear seat out. I pulled one out just to weigh one and obviously multiply that by 2. But that's what it looks like when those are removed. There's only 3 bolts in there, 1 in the middle, and then 1 on each side of the seats, and then it'll come right out. I'm going to hop over here to the scale, show you guys what it weighs. So one of these weighs roughly around 10 pounds. So we're looking at maybe 20 pounds between just taking out those plus the other 9 to 10 on the bottom. So maybe 30 pounds plus the front seat was somewhere between 30, 40. So anywhere from 60 to 70 pounds out of taking the front seat out and the rear seats. Does that actually help while you're racing? Maybe a little bit, probably not a ton. I will be honest though, there's not much labor that goes into taking that stuff out. It's only 7 bolts total. And then of course you got to remove the wiring harness underneath the seat. And then it's just those pull tabs for the bottom of the back seat. So super easy if you guys want to do that. I'd like to get a rear seat delete just so I don't have a reason to not allow people to sit in my back seat because it's super comfortable, as anyone knows that owns a Mustang. But somewhere between 60, 70 pounds on getting all that stuff out. I could take the trunk out, the cover for the spare tire. That'll maybe weigh 2 to 3 pounds. But yeah, I think that's the weight reduction we're going to do. Like I said, I want to do front runners as well to get more weight reduction. But yeah. Alrighty guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. We got to talk a little bit about what was done to the Mustang performance wise, what it's doing. You guys saw the dyno, you guys saw the races, you guys saw me struggle through getting the seats out of the car and also doing some weight comparisons on wheels and tires. So what Caden and I are going to do tomorrow, and I'll do a whole video on this, is how to do a cat delete on a GT Mustang, particularly mine, obviously. So yeah, I was kind of throwing around a couple ideas of maybe how I can gain some power really quick before I go down to Memphis, Tennessee for that Memphis, Tennessee versus Indiana collab event. So we decided to do cat delete, and we're not actually going to delete the cats. We'll talk about that tomorrow. And I already have a revision from my tuner, so we're going to get that loaded too. He said it should help a fair amount just because there's a lot of back pressure from the cats. So that should just open it up and give it some more power. And then we're going to dump it. Like I said, we don't have mufflers. We're going to dump it right at the end of the exhaust. I'd like to do a cutout at the end and then do some sort of muffler system at the back. I live in an apartment complex. I'm not trying to piss off my neighbors. So we'll look into that later on, but for now we're just going to dump it down and deal with the loudness. So we'll do some clips of it before and after. We'll do a full walkthrough of how to do the cat delete tomorrow, and that'll be another video for you guys. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you're enjoying the content. Make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, Tag Team Racing. Make sure you tap in for our merch. Got the sweatshirts, shirts, the hats, and stickers coming. Stickers are coming soon. You guys might have seen that on the story. So make sure you tap in on the Instagram. We'll get you guys some merch. We appreciate you guys following the channel. And see you next time, YouTube.